Loading. All right, and we are live. Woo! Welcome back, tribe, to another mentorship meetup Wednesday. I've missed you guys. I can't wait to connect with you guys. As you can see, I am officially in Orlando, Florida. My husband and I flew in this morning at 5 a.m. We landed 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we managed to get in a quick nap before this mentorship meetup, which I'm sure you all are really grateful for. Like, nobody needed to see those bags. Nobody needs to see my half asleep face, but I'm very grateful that the children did sleep through the whole flight. So that did help quite a bit. But we are looking forward to connecting with our tribe here, and some of you, if you're willing to drive over here, and let's organize a meetup. Let's organize maybe even a worship party. I'm trying to convince my husband and some of the team to set up a worship party of some kind, so us Next Gen Prophets can really gather and just connect and bring heaven down to earth. Because I mean, come on, Next Gen Prophets, we are worshipers, and this is what I want to see us doing together. So I actually put up a poll on my Instagram, so if you aren't following me on my Instagram, go ahead and check it out. It's Deborah Ann Felties, and all that fun stuff. You can also find it connected on my Facebook. But that being said, before I jump into our mentorship meetup, y'all got to do something really, really, really important. Otherwise, I cannot continue this message. All right? Y'all need to tag a battle buddy in the comments. Recall, text, get your battle buddy into today's mentorship meetup. If you don't have your battle buddy yet, I promise you, we are working on that. As you see, I've been kind of jumping all over the place. I just hopped off a plane early this morning. So we will get that sorted for you. You are not forgotten, I promise. All right. So I understand we are having some technical difficulties on Facebook. And is this also on my personal Facebook and the Next Gen Prophets Facebook, or just... All right, it just popped up. Okay, good to know. We are good then on Facebook. We're good on our live stream. Very good. So, and don't forget to share, like, and share this live stream on Facebook. For those of you in the Zoom room, you got 2 minutes to hop up onto Facebook. You can go to my personal Facebook page or the Next Gen Prophets Facebook page and like and share this streaming, because God's got a word for his prophets. God's got a word for his tribe of warriors and of champions that are going to change up the systems of this world. So let's get together and let's get connected. Go and do that now. Tag your battle buddy in the comments section of this live stream. Go ahead and like and then share this live stream as well. And if you're not already a member of my tribe, where I can give you a battle buddy, go to myprophetictribe.com. Go ahead, send in an application. Let me get to know your name. Let me connect with you. My husband and I, we want to equip you. We want to train you into your prophetic destiny and give you the tools you need to be accelerated in that destiny. Okay, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them in the comment section so that my team can let me know and I can answer those questions for you. So that being said, today's mentorship meetup is how to get people to follow you as a Next Gen Prophet. Now, this is a very fun topic. This is one of my favorite topics because it's something that I have been learning since I am a little girl. And I want to make one thing clear, okay? I am not sitting here to teach you leadership lessons as a pastor. I am not here to teach you leadership lessons as an apostle or as a boss in the workplace. I am here to mentor you as your prophetic mentor, as your big sister, and how to lead as only a prophet does. And as we go through today's mentorship meetup, I really want you to receive the impartation that God has for you and reach out to me so that we can work through any hindrances you may have in stepping out into this prophetic call. Because make no mistake, the prophetic call, I'm not talking body ministry of prophecy here, okay? I'm talking about those of you who know you are called to be a prophet, and more specifically, called to be a prophetic champion. One who has a sword, knows how to use it, and wants to lay that sword at the feet of their leader, of their apostle, or of their pastor. This is who this message is for. And I want to give you a focus on how you lead as a prophet. And I want to ask you this one question. Why do my children follow me around? As a mother, it's quite common to see me walking around in circles of the kitchen. In fact, my youngest son, Gigi, is the worst at this. I will be sitting, walking back and forth with a hot pan on the stove, trying to get ingredients into that pan for dinner. And my little baby, he crawls up to me and he grabs hold of my leg and he holds onto that leg. Why? Why is he so insistent on grabbing hold of me, following me wherever I go, and getting my attention? The answer is quite simple. He wants something from me. Whether it's wanting me to pick him up, whether it's wanting to taste what I am cooking, whether it's wanting to see what I am doing, or just because he's feeling something and he knows that mommy is the only person who can meet that need in him or give him what he wants. He is going to follow me around and nag at me until I give him what he wants and I give him my undivided attention. Children know when your attention is divided, and they will make sure you know that they know that your attention is divided. And I give this example as prophetic leadership because it is exactly the same methodology with any form of leadership, but especially as a prophet. A good leader has something that people want. If you have something people want, they will follow you. If they like you and the message that you're bringing, they will follow you. In fact, most of the following that any prophet is going to have or get is through having that message, having that relationship with God, and the answers to the problems they are facing. When you look at any prophetic ministry, people follow that prophetic ministry because they are getting what they need and what they want. It is meeting that need within them that they are seeking God for. They are reaching out for something, and that prophet, that leader, has the answer for them, and so they follow them. If you want to be a prophetic leader, a prophetic champion leader, you need to have something that others want. And you need to present it in a way that they'll want to continue coming back to follow and hear from you. Are you the character you need to be? Now, in our prophetic tribe, we've been going through a course called prophetic preaching. And we've been breaking down every week in our Class Connects how to put together sermon notes, how to present your message from the words you choose, the stories you choose, how you hold yourself when you're presenting that message. It has been a lot of fun. Our breakout rooms have been incredibly practical. Everybody's had a turn to present an introduction, present the main allegory or scripture they're going to use in their sermon. And I look forward to working through the next few lessons to finally publishing those messages for everybody to see and everybody to hear, because God is setting you up as leaders. Leadership is not accidental. Leadership is not just a naturalistic skill. Yes, you can have natural leadership qualities, but a real leader develops the skills to lead. And they develop the skills to lead by following. And so God will position you as a prophet under other leaders. And you will learn to lead as a servant. You will learn how to lead as a follower, just as you would learn to mentor by being mentored yourself. This is the biblical principle and law that God set in place from Genesis all the way to Revelations. This is not something that is random, off the cuff, new, or an opinion. God set a law in place for a reason, because how did I grow up learning how to be a parent? I didn't just wake up one day knowing how to be a mom. No, I was first mothered. And then when I had my own children, I started recognizing what my mother did or didn't do. And then I would go to my mother and I would ask her for help because I didn't know how to raise my child. I had an idea, but I don't quite remember the first 2 years of my life. I was a little bit in the stage of still developing a lot of the grooves in my brain. So I needed somebody to teach me. I needed answers. And so I went to the one person who I knew had the most metric, the one person I trusted the most to give me the answers and examples I needed to be the best mother I could be. I went to my mother. And as a prophet, positioned to minister, I don't care what system you're in, whether you're in the church, you're in ministry, whether you are in marketing, whether you are in nursing, whether you are in sales, whatever the case may be, wherever you are positioned to lead. You are positioned to step up because that is the very nature of your call as a next gen prophet. We are called to be leaders. We are called to be kingdom builders, and God will require you to develop those skills to lead. So I want you to take a second here. If you could, and look who's following you. Okay, take a second and look around. Who is following you? If you do not yet have a following, then you need to ask yourself, am I really a leader? Because if you don't have people following, then you can't lead. And then you have to ask yourself, what do I have to give? Do I have something people want? Not, I like this, and not what you want people to want from you. What do people want? In the environment that you have been placed in, because God has placed you in that environment on purpose. Make no mistake. We seem to have this idea that we're ministers, we're prophets, and therefore we're called to the church. We need a minister in the church. We need a minister in a very clear Christian ministry. And I just happen to have a job in the secular world to make money so that I could do the work of the ministry and have a house over my head. No, next gen prophet. If you've been following us for a little while, you know that's not the truth. You know that God has positioned you in that position in the marketplace on purpose. He has positioned you in that sales job. He has positioned you in that government position for a purpose, because you have a destiny to fulfill in that role. You're a next-gen prophet. You're a champion. You lead. Each of David's mighty men were leaders over their own men. They rose through the ranks, served and followed David, while leading others behind them. And as a next-gen prophet, as a prophetic champion, that is the exact same requirement God has of you. So if you, as a mighty man with a sharp sword, are looking around you and you don't see people following you, it's time to evaluate, what do the people need? What kind of leader do they need? What kind of environment are they in? Not what kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of leader do the people need? Because when you can recognize that, then we can begin the transformation process of tapping into the very DNA and the very destiny God placed in you from your mother's womb. You have been called. You have been formed. You have been chosen for this leadership position. You are called for this. Whether you just accepted the call or you've been following it for a while, you have been called for this. It is expected of you to lead others and not always be the one sitting alone, receiving. You are receiving to give out. You are poured in to pour out. That is your purpose in this life. Now, as a prophet, of course, a lot of people are going to follow this one very clear thing. It lies in the name, prophet, the one who communicates the will of God. People are going to follow your word. And as we've been going through the preaching and teaching course, or prophetic preaching course in our prophetic tribe, you guys have been learning how to present the word in a way that it will be received, it will minister to the people, and it will be received correctly. That it will plant a seed in good soil, just as it says in Matthew 13, I believe, of the sower who sows good seed in good soil. Well, we've been teaching you how to pick out your right seed to plant in good soil. Now you've got good seed and you've got good soil. Now let's present it in the correct way. Because when you are presenting it in the correct way, when you are having that Rhema word, that Rhema revelation to the people, And I'm going to show you 3 C's for prophets to really step out and sharpen that word for the people that will set you up as a prophetic leader. When you can do this, you become reliable. One of the main reasons I went to my mother for mothering counsel and direction is because I trusted her. I knew who she was. I saw how she raised us. I liked how she raised us. And so I went to her for help. Because I know who I was raised to be. And I wanted to know, how do I raise another me? But better. How do I raise the next director of the prophetic tribe? How do I raise the next fivefold minister of a fivefold ministry campus? How do I raise up champions that will raise up their own divisions and train up other champions under them? Because my parents did it. My mother did it. I want to know how she did it. I want that. So I went to her and I received her teaching. You need to have a metric. You need to have something that people can trust. If people are not following you, there is something they don't trust about you. Maybe they like you as a person, as a peer, but they don't trust you to lead them in the right direction. And it's time for you to begin assessing why. Now, if you're a member of my tribe, and especially if you are a leopard or higher member of my tribe, I will work with you personally on this. Me and my husband, Michael, are going to work with you personally to uplift you. If you're not yet a member of my tribe, reach out on myprophetictribe.com and get signed up so I can work with you further on this. I'm available to all of my tribe, but I do give priority to my leopards and my lions. Because God is shifting you. God has been shifting you. And I'm picking this up by prophetic revelation. There are those of you here that have been sitting and it feels like God has almost closed off your connections, your ministry connections. You are sitting in environments that seem very dry, unspiritual. It seems to be stifling your prophetic gifting. And you're wondering why you are here. Why am I in this place and this circumstance? Why am I surrounded by these people that are stifling my prophetic character, that are stifling my anointing, my creativity? I am just stifled here. This is not my environment. And I hear that word very specific. You feel stifled. And God is saying, because I need you to learn how to lead in the wilderness. I need you to learn how to lead people into their promised land, but it's going to take time. You're going to have to go through that season of dryness. There is deserts, there are cacti, there is koras, there are golden calves, and it is not comfortable. It is not comfortable, but Moses proved himself a real leader in that moment. Moses didn't prove himself the leader getting them out of Egypt. That was God. God opened the door. God provided the way. But once they got into the wilderness, once they got out there and all that wild terrain that they did not have any say over, and they left behind all those beautiful comforts of Egypt, that stayed behind. They left their beds, they left their favorite foods, they left some of probably their favorite baking stuff, baking ware. Come on, if you just up and left your home that you'd been living in for the last 30, 40 years. There were members in that community that were newborns all the way up to 60 plus. You've been living in that same home for 60 years. You've got some memories, and now you uproot and you leave it for this great promised land, which is great for maybe the first few months, and then suddenly you're out in this wilderness with no way to get those things back. You're going to get a little grumpy. You're going to start getting antsy. You're going to start getting uncomfortable because now the honeymoon phase is over. The stars and the sparkles have all faded away. Those plagues of Egypt are a far off memory now because I'm sitting in the middle of the desert without my comfy pillow. My favorite pillow was left at home. Now we're talking leadership. Because a good leader will recognize those needs, touch on them, find a way to help change that up, and still continue getting you towards the goal. because he knew the territory the Israelites were going to, that God had promised them, had better pillows, had king-size beds, had memory foam, had all the better niceties than Egypt ever promised them. Moses knew, and he had to get the people to get that. And so now he had to learn how to be a leader. All his leadership lessons were truly confirmed in that environment. So that's why you're stifled, child of God. You are stifled because God is proving you as the prophetic leader that he needs you to be. He is putting you in environments where the people seem unleadable. How do you lead an unbeliever? As Christians, we give each other a certain amount of grace. When somebody stands up and says something that they feel God is leading in, or does something right or does something wrong, we tend to have a little bit of grace because you're a fellow Christian sitting in this circular job, in one of these systems. So we're going to have a little bit of grace with you, but an unbeliever don't. An unbeliever don't have the ability to sense the intentions of the heart and to sense the spirit behind what was said. An unbeliever looks at the law and looks at the facts and says, that's not up to code. I don't care what your intentions were. It's not up to code. You didn't do the job. You're not getting paid. How do you lead such a person? By becoming a leader. Because that's one thing the world does do, or the secular world does in the marketplace, those who are unbelievers, is they can raise some good leaders. There are some great names out there who have led people to do things. And some of them weren't even Christian. Because they knew how to stand in the character strength of a leader. Now imagine you added the power of the Holy Spirit to that. God is putting you in places to learn to lead. Because my great prophetic word is not going to stop when I'm in the battlefield. It's not going to stop that arrow from being shot at one of my soldiers. The command of duck will make that soldier duck, and that arrow misses him. But he better know my voice. He better trust me as the general. Then when I say duck, I'm saving his life. If he don't duck, he doesn't know. And this is a shift God is taking you through to learn to develop that skill, to become trustworthy, and to shift into that position. So he starts you in servanthood positions. He teaches you how to get people to like you, how to recognize the needs of others and what do they need. A good leader knows what the people want and need and finds a way to give it to them. So shift prophets. Here's the cool thing. Because you're a prophet, you can get revelation. See, we do have this one sheet up on the rest of the world. We get prophetic insight and revelation. That unbeliever may not be able to sense the intent of the heart. He may not be able to sense the spirit behind words, but we sure can. We can tell when somebody is speaking through hurt, frustration. We can tell when somebody is picking something up when they're frustrated about something. We can tell. And we can get the revelation on how to bring peace in that moment. We have the untapped potential to run this world. We may not be of the world, but we are living in it. And we need to learn how to run this world. So let's work together, prophets. As a tribe, you have one another here to continue to encourage you, to help you with your tone, to help you with your respect, to help you with your esteem, your appreciation, and how to be timely. These 5 things, the culture of treat, set you up for leadership success, because these 5 things, even the world appreciates. And I'm not just saying that. I know it because I've seen the proof of it. I have seen my prophets. I have seen team members go out into the world and apply those 5 points of our treat culture and seen the promotion, the immediate promotion that comes because they stood in those leadership qualities as a next-gen prophet. So, as I've been speaking, I went way off my notes because y'all pulled something up out of me. There's those of you here who have been seeking God diligently about the leadership position God's put you in, and why you don't seem to be seeing success, because he's training you. And he's imparting into you something today. He's imparting to you fresh eyes and revelation so that you can begin leading the people, not out of Egypt, but through the wilderness to the promised land. There's an interim stage. Once you get out of Egypt, you got to get through that wilderness. And that's where you are. That's where the people are. You were trying to jump to promised land, but the people are stuck in wilderness. So bring them on the journey. Give them the promise, give them the goal, give them the steps, and recognize the needs that they have. As you do this, prophet of God, I promise you this, not just by my word, but by the word of God. When you can recognize those needs, you can get the revelation on how to meet them, and you go and you meet them, you will indeed begin to see God's people set free. They will get the deliverance they need. They will get the healing that they need, because a good covering, a good leader provides an opportunity for healing and for growth and for displacement. And he doesn't always need to necessarily minister. Give them that place to belong. Give them that shade of safety. That as you follow that pillar of fire by night and that pillar of smoke by day, they trust that you are going in the right direction. And they will follow you, and they will eat of that manna, and they will celebrate with that quail every day until they reach their promised land. So that's it for today's mentorship meetup. We are going to be getting together with the rest of the crew here, Apostles Craig and Colette, Prophets Dalton and Rebecca Beckering, who, by the way, y'all see I got my new shirt now. If you all didn't get yours, go on the website and go get them, ColetteToachStore.com. Go get your shirt because it's just too cool. Okay, so y'all have seen the front. I'm actually really in love with the back. I got to show you quickly. I don't know if you can see it, but you see the lion? If you look closely, the lion on my shirt is a podcast lion. And I just think that's really cool. So that's just a quick side note. I look forward to connecting with them. We are going to be going to Revival Night with Pastor V.W. Grant tonight. So I am looking forward to seeing what new impartation God has for us and for you guys as our tribe. Because you know us tribe directors, your big bro and sis, we go through every death. We test out every water and every bit of food to make sure that you guys are getting the resources and the nutrients you need to accelerate in your prophetic call. So if you're not already signed up, myprophetictribe.com, go get signed up so that we can continue these conversations. We can continue to connect with you. For the rest of my tribe, reach out to Michael or I. You can also reach out to Jodia or one of the team about connecting with us while we're here in Orlando so we can get together and have that praise party. For the rest of my tribe who will not be able to make it, we will see you tomorrow in class. That is 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Y'all, I'm getting the hang of these time zone shifts. We will see you guys in class tomorrow. I look forward to taking you guys through how to conclude your message in power. We've looked at our introduction, how to hook everybody. We've looked at the meat of the message, how to feed the people. Now, how do we finish off with a good dessert and make sure the meal sticks with them for the rest of their life? We'll find out in tomorrow's class. I love you guys tons, and I will see you all then. Bye-bye.